Then we can discuss more in depth next week. So, I don't need to introduce myself, right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's skip this slide, and yeah, you can see in the syllabus. This is compulsory course, so you cannot delete in your transcript when you graduate. It's different with elective course. If elective course is not benefit for you, I mean if your GPA is 3, so if you get the score in C+, it will make your GPA decrease. Yeah. So if this elective course, you have choose to keep this course or delete this course, but different with descriptive statistics because this is compulsory and there is prerequisite course after you finish the descriptive statistics, that is inferential statistics, so you should pass this course this semester. Should be. Okay, the credit only 2 credit, and then last semester you already took probability theory.
Yes, sir.
Pass the course with good score. Okay. Yeah, it's still good. Not B.
Good.
Yeah, not B. Then for the graduate learning outcome and also course learning outcome, you can see in the academic guideline. I think there is no difference because we should able to achieve the CPL first, third, and fifth. And what is the function to study statistics is to understand about the engineering mathematics, especially in descriptive statistics that can use for analyze and design of integrated system. And the other introduction you can see in your academic guideline. So let's move to the contents of this course. So in the first part, we will start from the population and sample. Did you hear about population and sample before this class? In probability theory. Who is the lecturer?
Pak Arif.
Oh, Pak Arif. Pak Arif and?
Bu Rati.
Okay, so I think you have a very good and comprehensive theory about probability and also statistics, right? Yeah, because Pak Arif and also Bu Rati is master in statistics. So I think it's good for you to start the course of statistics by talk with them. Okay, the first one we will discuss about population and sample, and then observation sampling. So if our data is sample, not population, we will say the method to collect the data as sampling. And from observation sampling, there are another one is experimental sampling. But usually in our department is seldom to find experimental study. But maybe around 2012 batch, there is a lot of students took experimental study to be their final thesis. But right now, a lot of students maybe prefer to observation than experiment, because when we use experiment, there is a lot of material that we need to buy, and I think it's financial matter become one consideration why we didn't choose the experimental. And the fourth meeting, we will discuss about this presentation. You will not present, but I will show you what the kind of list to be one kind of one form of descriptive statistics. And next, one-way table presentation and presenting table with summary. So beside table, we also have lists as kind of descriptive. And in the next meeting with Bu Ike, you will study about descriptive statistics in graph and also in some measurement in statistics like mean, median, modus, range, and the other the other measure in statistics. Okay, so we have midterm exam and also final exam, and we also have some assignment. Yeah, maybe one in this first part of this semester. Yeah, I don't know in the second part, but I think giving you one assignment is enough. Okay, and the reference, you can search for ebooks. Any kind of ebooks is okay, but the recommended is published by Walpole and also Montgomery. But be careful if you search Montgomery, include the title as well, because Montgomery have a lot of book in statistics, like applied statistics, introduction of statistics, design of experiment, and also in focus of ANOVA. He have a lot of statistic books, so please include the title when you search the ebook. I think I have several books of statistics. I will include in the Google Drive and you can download.
Thank you.
Okay, and also the class mechanism. Hopefully all of you already understood about my mechanism in the class. My class, yeah, only in my class. So we start as the schedule. And if the fifth floor didn't work, yeah, we can use this class in the next week. Okay, let's start as the schedule, and that means for me, please give me 15 minutes. If 15 minutes I didn't give you any information, you can go out. And the presentation is in my, what can I say? Responsibility. I don't want to use the term of responsibility because it's my fault. So it's not a responsibility.
Consequence or maybe?
Yeah, it's consequence of my fault. So I will take the presentation for all of you. Don't worry about that. And is there any, what can I say? The physics presentation? No?
I'm not sure.
The physical? Oh, no.
No.
The last class?
No.
Did you use?
No.
Okay. So ignore the third mechanism. And the fourth is material and assignment. I will upload by Google Drive. If you consider using Brown, Google Classroom or anything else, you can let me know. And as usually, I will send the transparency for the assessment in the last. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Oh no, no question. The transparency is for feedback. So I will give you after the midterm exam. Maybe 1 year ago, usually I will give the transparency during 1 week after the midterm exam. But yeah, recently, please give me 1 month to give you the transparency. But don't worry, because I took the first phase, so you can still consult with me and also discuss with me about your score. But if it take in the second phase, it will difficult to change the score if we already passed the deadline of uploading the score. So please be careful. Okay. And the system assessment. To get the final score consists of 40% of assignment. And last year, I remember that you will have response. If you know response, yeah. It will help by the KIDA laboratory. So maybe the assistant will give you some assignment, and then the head of laboratory will give me the score, so I can input in my sheet, and I will calculate the final score. Okay. And the midterm exam will do 30% and also the final exam. I think it's easy to finish this one, so you can get the enough score for the final. Okay, and please remember, yeah, I think I already introduced this system. Before you look your score, don't forget to fill the questionnaire. So sesuai hati nurani.
Yeah.
Tidak berdasarkan request, not by request, but what you feel in the class, please fill in my questionnaire. Not the score, not the Likert scale. I don't care about the Likert scale, but I need your comment. So please write the comment, because I try my best to to examine your tests and also your assignment. That's why I need your comment, not only siap Bu, terima kasih Bu, sudah baik Bu, and also usually the student using copy paste and forget to replace that I am is woman, not man. Yeah. Copy paste and in the comment still write terima kasih Pak, sudah baik Pak, because I look up all of the comment as my continuous improvement. So please give your time to fill the comment. Okay? And the material link, I will try to upload all the material within 2 weeks. I'm not sure in 1 week, because I still have a lot of duty. So please give me 2 weeks. I will finish all the material until the 7 meeting.
Okay.
Any question?
Maybe for the
It's not end.
Oh, yeah.
I will give you the introduce a little bit, before we end this class. Okay, Satrio.
I was
please.
curious about the observation and experimental. What's the difference between those two?
The
sampling.
observation and experimental sampling.
Yes.
Okay. Let me give a brief explanation before we deep discuss about that. So, in observation sampling, usually we got the data by using observe one of phenomenon. So, the case like this cafeteria is still open?
No.
Next week.
Next week, okay, starting next week. So for the example, we want to know the price of how many students visit the cafeteria. So this is the form of observation. How many students we visit the cafeteria, and we try to take the sample, because we know that this cafeteria will open from Monday to Friday in the whole year, okay? And we cannot to observe every day in the whole year. That's why we try to take the sample, not the population. And usually we use the random sampling to make the data is not biased. The data objective and not biased. That's why we try to use the random number to put the time when we can get the observe. That's why we can call it sample. Okay, this is the observation one. The difference with the experiment. Okay, the experiment is usually we try to design first what kind of experiment we want to conduct. So, for example, I want to make I think in your high school you already have some experiment, right? Yeah, we know the design of the experiment before we perform that kind of, that kind of study. Yeah. So, for example, I want to know about. I'm not sure whether the KIDA laboratory still have the experiment analysis or not, but last time when I still be the head of laboratory, we used try to have the kind of optimized receipt of brownies. Yeah. So we try to combine several composition like flour, egg, and another composition, and that's why we have the design first, and after that we perform the experiment to get the data. And because we know that our combination is not all probabilities that will be have when we use or we make brownies, so we call it sample. Did you understand? So the difference one is Observation. Usually we not design it first, but we try to find after we observe the phenomenon. But in experiment, we design it first. What we want to do to get the data. And usually, maybe later, in next semester, if you you should take the inferential statistic. There is one analysis. Papanya kecil sekali. Yeah. One analysis, it called by analysis of variance, or we can take the phrase of ANOVA. If you know about ANOVA, yeah. Later in the next semester, ANOVA. ANOVA is one tool that we'll use in experimental study.
So it's a software? Or?
No, it's not software. It's like the test. Like you calculate the mean, you calculate the median, and also the another form of statistical parameter. We know the other test is ANOVA. Instead of ANOVA, there is hypothesis testing and another one. Don't worry, you will get all of this only in the next semester.
Okay.
But right now we just try to discuss about descriptive statistics. So it's not too hard, but you still have to distinguish whether it's better to, what can I say? It's better to deliver an information in table, in list, in graph, or in another form. So is it the objective of this course? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I still have 2 classes in one day with you. I don't know who make the schedule. Okay, before we move to the introduction, I will show you how can I manage the presentation. So this is your class.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, do we like learn about the software also that makes the distribution like that?
Usually you will study about the software, how to use the software in laboratory.
Oh, in that.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we will study about the application while in the practical.
Yeah.
Oh.
The use of the application to implement in some case you will use it in practical. But I'm not sure whether another lecture will give you the software. If you want to me for introduce the software, I will give to you as well. Don't worry. Okay. So maybe you can check your SIAM. It's already all of you hadir. And I will take the 2 chance to give the online lecture.
Okay.
And you also have 2 chance, I think, 3 or 2 chance to don't attend the class without reason.
Okay.
Okay, let's move to the next class. How many credit you take this semester?
24.
24. Are you busy as this schedule? This is my schedule in this semester. We set the meeting and another job of Tridharma perguruan tinggi. So if we calculate this credit, maybe around 30 something. But it will be divided into 2 sessions. In the first session, the first week till the 8th and the 9th to the 16th. Okay. Next, yeah, I got this material honestly from Pak Arif. Mana ya dia? Bentar. maybe you know already from the material course from Pak Arif. Usually, he will include all of the information in his slide. Yeah, maybe around 100 slides in one file. But I think I need to make it simpler, so that's why I need time to try to find what the important information to include in this slide. But please don't hesitate to coordinate with another class, yeah, because maybe the another class will get another material, yeah, not use this material. So because the exam will be held in one form, except your exam in English, but the question is similar one with the regular class, so please coordinate with another class. Okay? And Ahmed, don't hesitate to ask your friend, especially Aldi, to translate the class material. Okay? Yeah. Well, I think I just have 5 slides to introduce about what is descriptive statistics before we discuss about population and sample. So, statistics is the branch of mathematics. So it can use as GPL1 later when you have the final exam before you get your degree, yeah, in comprehensive test. You will ask by the judge what kind of the implementation mathematics in industrial engineering. So you can use statistics as well because statistics is branch of mathematics. Please remember, because usually some students using too far relation between their final thesis and the implementation of mathematics, because he just focused that mathematics is consists of linear algebra and mathematics and optimization. Yeah. They don't remember that statistics also branch of mathematics. So this one is one kind of mathematics that studies scientific method for collecting, organizing, summarizing, simplifying, presenting, interpreting, and analyzing, synthesizing data, either numerical or non-numerical. So we just not include numerical data, but also non-numerical. That's why later we will study about parametric and non-parametric statistics. Parametric can use to analyze the numerical data, non-parametric used to analyze non-numerical data to produce information and or conclusion which help in problem solving and or decision making. So after we collecting data either from observation or experiment, we can get the data and try to organizing, summarizing, or maybe direct to analyze and synthesizing. The different type of work form will be affect to the kind of statistic method we use. So in this kind, after we collecting data and let's say we take the presenting, so what the function of presenting in this case is just to produce the information, right? But if we continue to analyze, then we not produce information but also solve the problem, and sometimes we can make the decision. And from this statistic form, why we study statistics, there is some reason. I will take the one example because by study statistics, we can estimate and also predict the data that we already gathered before. So after we study the statistics, and then we found that there is 2 kinds of statistics. Right now we study about descriptive statistics, that the function is to organize, summarize, simplify, present, and interpret. But next semester you will study about inferential statistics, that the function is not only to organize or present the data, but also generalize the sample to population, because after we took some data from sample, hopefully the result can conclude for the population as well. Do you understand what I mean? So, for example, last time when I said to Rio that I want to know how many students visit the cafeteria, but actually it's not only to describe the data that we take from sample, but to describe the overall data. How many students? So we can conclude in generalize. How many people visit this cafeteria? Is still feasible to open or close this cafeteria? That's the decision we will take in the future. But to know how we can generalize this data sample to population, we should have some procedure that will name as inferential statistics. And also there is estimating parameter, testing hypothesis, evaluating relationship, making prediction. Did you heard about regression analysis? Have you? Analysis regression? For example, if I took industrial engineering Universitas Brawijaya, my score will increase. Or if I move to Malang, my salary will increase. Do you know there is one reason and one effect? And when we describe the relationship between one variable to another variable that affect another variable, so the first variable we usually say as independent variable that will affect the dependent variable, it can call as regression analysis. Okay, yeah. So how we can study about how many the effect of independent variable to dependent variable, we should measure in inferential statistics. So not only by differ another situation with the other situation, but also to know the effect of one variable to another variable. Okay. And also making prediction. If you interest to know the prediction in big data, you can take the business intelligence as elective course, maybe in 5th semester. Okay, so right now we have already now the difference between descriptive statistic and inferential statistic. And from the descriptive statistic and inferential statistic, there is two kinds of thinking or reasoning in make some observation or experimental data. So the first one called as deductive reasoning, and another one is inductive reasoning. We can make the deductive reasoning when we start our study by theory, general, and population, and then by using the theory, general, and population, we get the hypothesis. From the hypothesis, we can make the prediction. The hypothesis just to test the sample data, limited data. And after we got the information from the hypothesis testing, we can predict how the phenomena in our population. So after we generalize the phenomena in population, we can conclude the observation, specific, and sample. And if we start from the another side, observation, specific, and sample, it's called inductive study or inductive reasoning. In inductive study, we try to find the hypothesis after we get the sample, not the population. And after we get the sample data, we try to test the hypothesis and then make the estimation. Regarding the estimation, it will introduce to you in the 5th meeting, Bapak Ibu. Estimating parameter. So from the deductive and inductive, we can understand that in deductive, it's called with probability, but when we study about inductive, it will include in statistic. And usually, using Indonesian, we differ two kind of terms, statistic and statistika. In this term, we just use statistic, because in English we just use statistic form. But in Indonesia, there's statistic and statistika. Usually, the assistant will ask about the difference between statistic and statistika in Indonesian class, okay, in regular class. Statistik adalah angka, data yang diolah. Kalau statistika, ketika ada tambahan A-nya, sorry Ahmed, I will use Indonesian to explain to the student, but I hope the student will inform to you later. But statistika adalah ilmunya, ilmu yang mempelajari statistik. The study to explore about statistic called as statistika. Yeah. We can find the difference between this term in KBBI. Usually some lecturer will also ask in the final exam, what is the difference between statistic and statistika? Okay.
May I put it right?
Yes, yeah. So after we know that there is deductive and inductive reasoning, I went to toilet, but this is the my last slide. Okay. So we can understand that there is two kind of data that we can obtain, population and sample. If we start from population and then we analyze to get the sample, we say it deductive. But in our department, usually we start with sample to generalize to have the decision for population. Yeah. So we call it inductive reasoning. Okay. I think this is our preliminary discussion before we try to discuss about population and sample next week. Before we end the class, any question? We still have one class, but I think we start in the schedule, right?
I have a question.
Mhm.
What is the difference between the descriptive statistics and the inferential?
The difference between the descriptive statistic and the inferential statistic. Okay, maybe the easiest one is the form of the examination. So in descriptive statistic, after we got the data, we just try to describe the data in any kind of form, like table or maybe graph or just list. Yeah. It's called descriptive statistic. But in inferential statistic, we not only describe the data, but we try to calculate and analyze the data to get the optimal decision. So for example, I said that last regression analysis, hypothesis testing, and maybe still a lot of tests that you will study in statistics, it will call as inferential statistics. So in descriptive statistics, we don't use a lot of mathematic operator, but in inferential statistics, make sure that you bring your calculator.
So in descriptive, we're more into graphing.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah, after we got the data, just make it in graph and make it in table. So I think using Excel is enough. Yeah. But sometimes if you try to publish some paper, Excel is not enough. So we try to use another software. But in inferential statistics, using software is very powerful. But when you get the exam, you cannot use software. You still have to calculate. So bring your calculator. So maybe in descriptive statistics, the difficult one will discuss in the 5th meeting about the estimation parameter. It's just the only one about calculation in this course. The other, I can give you some example, but I'm sorry, it's still in Indonesian. What we study in descriptive statistics is just like this one. After we get some data, we try to find what is the appropriate descriptive method to deliver our information. The difficulty is usually we have a lot of data, but we don't know what is the better present to deliver the information from our data. So, for example, if we want to know the difference between the data in 1 year to another year, maybe it's better to using line chart than bar chart. It's better to using line chart, what can I say? This one, line chart, than pie chart. Because we want to know the trend from 1 year to another year. But if using the pie chart, we cannot deliver the information that there is some trend help between the difference in 1 year to another year. So maybe the difficulty just because we have a lot of data and what kind of descriptive method we use. So we will base from the function. For example, there is 4 main function: comparison, distribution, composition, and relationship. And based on this main function, we can differ into some kind of descriptive statistic. Okay?
Maybe for like for the inferential
statistic.
Is it like the reverse of probability, like from general to the sample and then sample to general again?
The probability statistic, you studied about distribution, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not distribution at all.
Oh.
Saya tidak mengampu sih, tapi saya coba cari ya untuk menunjukkan teman-teman. Do you take the inferential statistics this semester as well?
Yes.
Who is the lecturer? Or I think I can give you the example of inferential statistics like this one. Pak
Himawan.
Pak Himawan. Okay, and the other one?
She's not in the.
Not in the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Himawan. He's a nice guy. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I have class, but in another faculty. It's about Statistika Industri 2. The content is like experimental study. So one form in inferential statistics that maybe you will study in this semester. I think next semester, but in this semester, okay. This is the hypothesis. So in hypothesis, we try to test whether the hypothesis 0 is true in our data sample. If it's not true, then we should accept the hypothesis 1. So in this slide, I try to show that we want to know whether the mean in one sample and to another sample. In this case, there is 3 samples that we test, and from the 3 sample, if the mean in the 1 point, so we can conclude that all of these samples have the same mean. There is no difference between 3 samples. But if at least one sample differ with another sample, so we should accept the hypothesis 1. Then how we can know that we accept the hypothesis 0 or hypothesis 1, or usually we call it null hypothesis. Yeah. How we can know, how we can accept this one or this one? Yeah. We should make the analysis. Yeah. The analysis. Okay. This is the procedure to make the analysis. The first one, we need to formulate the hypothesis, null hypothesis, and one alternate hypothesis. And after that, we try to find the degree of freedom, alpha, and find in the table. And after find in the table, we make the analysis. Yeah. This analysis is ANOVA, analysis of variance, because we have 3 samples. More than 2 samples, we use ANOVA. But if we only have 1 sample or 2 samples, we have another testing, hypothesis testing. 1 sample we test and independent sample we test. Okay, after that, after we make the analysis, we can get the conclusion. The conclusion is we accept the null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis. So this is the procedure. Then I will show you, this is the table that we will use to, what can I say? To be the cut-off point, whether we decide we accept the null or the alternate hypothesis. Okay, I think I will move to show you what kind of calculation, that why you need to prepare your calculator. Okay, so we should calculate the sum square total, sum square column, sum square error using this formula. This is the ANOVA analysis. So in this ANOVA analysis, you will calculate from the sum square total, and from sum square total, sum square column, and sum square error. And from the another testing, have another formula. That's why it's not descriptive at all. We don't have to describe, but we need to calculate. That's why the credit is 3, right? Yeah. Because I think it's more difficult. Not more difficult. Okay. Yeah, so this is the case. We have the data. This is the sample data. Okay. In the descriptive statistic, we just try to make in table like this one. This is descriptive statistic table. Okay. Or maybe you can use graph. Yeah. After you get the data, just convert it into graph, table, or another form of descriptive statistic. But in inferential statistic, not only by this descriptive, but we should also have the decision what we should do with this data. In this data, we try to find whether the workstation have difference between 1 to 3. Okay, how to know whether it have differ or not? So the first step is make the formulation. After make the formulation, we find the table value to be the cut-off point. After get the table value, and we start to make the inferential statistic using ANOVA. This is the calculation, all of the calculation. I think this is the responsibility for Mr. Himawan to describe to you. Okay? Not me. Yeah. Saya tidak centang statistika inferensial. Tapi saya jelaskan ini di departemen lain. Dengan jumlah mahasiswa hampir 50 orang.
Oh, satu kelas.
10 times with this class. Satu kelas di Faculty of Agriculture Technology. Yeah. The class is quite big. So in one class usually the student around 40 to 50. FTP. Teknologi Industri Pertanian. But it's regular class, not international undergraduate program. Don't worry.
Yang internasional gimana Pak Rizal?
Nggak ada internasionalnya. Kalau di FTP internasionalnya masih teknik biosistem.
Satu aja.
Satu orang dulu.
Ya, satu orang.
Iya, satu orang.
Di FTP.
Iya, mas bagian baru.
Oh gitu. Ya itu teknik biosistem harusnya. Beda dengan yang TIP.
Cuma satu.
Cuma satu ya, laki-laki.
Iya.
Ya IUP men kebanyakan laki-laki. Kalau dari demografinya. Oke, ya ini. This is the example of inferential statistics. That's why you should have sometimes to study hard about this one. So it's only the calculation. Where is the conclusion then? After making the table, yeah, we can get the value 114 from this calculation. Where? This one. And 1016, this one. Okay. So after we get the calculation, we summarize in the table, and from this summarizing, we have the F-hitung. This value will compare with F-tabel. So from F-hitung 0.55, and then the table is 3.6. When the F-hitung less than F-tabel, so the conclusion is we accept the null hypothesis. This is the decision we make. Now you can have any view the difference between inferential and descriptive statistic. Yeah, in inferential statistic, the last part there is conclusion. Which hypothesis we should accept? Null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis.
So yeah, I get that they have conclusion, but the F table they have so many, right? How maybe from the exam, if we want to look at the F table, there's so many. How can we do that?
I think Mr. Himawan will teach you how to read the table. Do you mean how to read the table, right?
Not how to read, because there are many like derajat.
Yeah.
This one is zero
This one,
point. Yeah.
the derajat given.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is given statement. So in the what can I say? In the exam, it will show the
Table.
how many the degree of freedom you will take, right?
Okay.
So this is given information, I think,
Okay.
about the degree of freedom. But the ungiven information is what kind of test you should use in the data we give to you. Like the descriptive statistic, we give you the data, but we don't know which the better one to describe the data. And also in inferential statistic, usually we provide you the data, but you should distinguish which the kind of analysis you should use, because you will introduce to a lot of analysis. Not only this one, not only F-tabel, but we also have Z-tabel, T-tabel, and maybe the another one is when we study about non-parametric, there is Mann-Whitney tabel, sign tabel, and another tabel. I will not include in my Google Drive because it's not my responsibility. Okay? Anything else? Well, if there is no question, we will meet in 2, okay? Is it okay for you? Yeah. With introduction, because I'm not finished yet.
Good.
Meskipun cuma RPS, saya belum selesaikan semuanya. Ya, jadi kita cuma bahas RPS, tapi saya minta tolong ditunggu bentar ya, karena saya ada meeting online.
Oh.
Okay. Any question?
All good.
All good? Are you enjoying here?